Hey Payson stranger, welcome to the Vblog podcast, powered by HeyPayson.com. I'm your host, Robert Starkey, and I'm on a mission to meet people who make Payson tick. From shop owners to event organizers, from new faces to homegrown legends. I'm bringing you the real stories from right here in our own backyard. We're more than just interviews. HeyPayson.com is your go-to for everything local. Shop small, stay in the loop on events, find your next job right here in town. If it's happening in Payson, it's happening on HeyPayson.com. Let's hit the road. You never know who you'll meet next. Hey Payson stranger, welcome to episode number 2. Now you're going to notice I'm in the same seat as I was last time. It's a wonderful restaurant called Rim Country BBQ, and I'm here with the owner, Shane Lovett, and if you haven't been here before, you got to come, you'll love it. Shane, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So tell us a little bit about this restaurant here. We'll start with the restaurant this time.
Well, currently, Rim Country BBQ has been open for almost 4 years now. The original owner, Robert Santoro and Debbie Santoro, the owners, started barbecue as a kind of a passion and a hobby for him. He wasn't a restaurant guy, and after a couple of years of growing the business and doing a great job doing it, he found that being a restaurant owner is a lot different than being a barbecue pit master. Mm-hmm. And he was looking for somebody that can carry on the legacy of what he's done and with the restaurant. And at the time, I was looking to get up into Payson and open a restaurant. Had started with a bad day at work, coming home and telling Gail that, hey, let's go to Payson and open a restaurant. And she broke out her laptop and found typed in restaurants for sale in Payson. And this one popped up. My parents had recently moved here, and I just happened to pick up the phone and call their realtor. Mm-hmm. And he goes, well, I know him over there. And he set up a meeting, and I think it took a good year after that, and we've wound up putting a deal together where we were able to come in with the experience I had and continue the operation. So Gail and I will have the restaurant now for almost 2 years. It'll be June 28th.
You've done a great job. My first experience here, we had here, we met with 2 friends of ours, people we made friends here in Payson, and we came here to check out the food and did the meat platter, the sampler thing, mm-hmm. And oh my gosh, it was so delicious. So you're really doing a good job. Keep doing what you're doing. So what brought you into the restaurant industry? How long you been in the restaurant industry?
It kind of happened by chance. Going through college, I started bartending. Oddly, about that time I met Gail. Then I transitioned into a sales job. I have kind of an extensive background in sales before any of this. And I was a broker. I was brokering computer component parts. Moved from Southern California in 2001 to Scottsdale. And lo and behold, that same year, the market fell through the bottom. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't a whole lot of need for brokers for component industry. So I needed something to fall back on. I fell back into a bartending position at a restaurant called Z Tejas at the time.
Where was that at?
Down in Chandler on Ray Road. So
maybe somebody's been there.
I believe that location is still there. They've changed ownership a couple times. They had multiple locations and they scaled back down.
Got it.
But natural progression of things with a little bit of my history, they saw an opportunity to offer a management position. I moved my way up in that company, and after that, 25 years later, I've worked at the golf industry as a club manager. I've been a director of operations for a large restaurant company called Fox Restaurant Concepts down in the valley. Been a general manager of a good number of their different brands and store locations for restaurants, and it was certainly it was a time for me to, if I was ever going to own my own restaurant, I better do it now. I always joke that restaurant years are like dog years, so they multiply a lot faster than most other career years. So
Yeah. So you said you came here because of your parents, or your parents moved here
first?
Or?
No. I was looking. So honestly, We came in 2001, Phoenix, Scottsdale, actually Scottsdale at the time, and I was looking, oddly enough, I grew up in Riverside, California, and our family vacations were always going to the Sierras for fishing and fishing. And I was looking for a place in the state of Arizona to go trout fishing. And, you know, lo and behold, most people, I think most people are naive about the northeastern side of Arizona.
Right.
So I just figured everything was Flagstaff, and after that it was going to be Grand Canyon. But I wanted to know what the other options were, and everything pointed to the Mogollon Rim and the Rim Lakes and some of the streams and creeks. And so Gail and I hopped in the car one day and drove up here. And I on that day, I think I told her, I said, I could do this. It was obviously a little bit smaller town than it is now. But after that, we came up. I mean, I came up all the time. I mean, I kept an old fishing boat down the hill in Rye, and I'd come up and pick it up on my days off and go up and sit on the lake. But family vacations would vacation up on the rim or just below, like Christopher Creek, for a week at a time in the fall. But we just fell in love with it, and then over time, I think Gail kind of fell in love with the idea as well. It took her a little bit longer than me, but it was kind of meant to be. It was a bit of a dream that we were able to turn into a reality. That's awesome. I don't know if we would have been able to do it without me being in the restaurant business.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure. You see these bar rescue shows and all these people that are getting rescued. Do you have any experience in the restaurant industry?
Yeah.
None at all. Just winging it.
I couldn't imagine, and that was, you know, even with the original owner Robert, you know, Gil's, he was pretty intentional with wanting to move on, but it was important to him that it went on with the right people.
Right.
And you know, we were down to the end trying to figure out how to make this work, and you know, I go, Gil had asked me, and I'm going to ask you, why do you really want to sell the restaurant? And he goes, because I'm 65 years and this is the hardest work I've ever done. You know, I think a lot of times restaurant ownership starts with a bit of a dream for a lot of people, whether they have experience or not. And it comes with a lot of hours, and it comes with a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And you know, you got to have all the right pieces in place, whether it's, you know, leadership and you know, making sure that you find good people and you love good people, because if you don't, they're not gonna remain.
Definitely have to be a people person.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, it's funny. People talk about, I can't believe the hours that you do sometimes. And my response is, it's all I've done for 25 years. So it's it just kind of comes with the territory.
Well, just, I know even from an entrepreneur standpoint myself, like it doesn't shut off. Like you go to bed and you're still thinking at nighttime, and
better not wake up.
Right. Yeah. So we pray to not wake up.
Busy brain syndrome. You're trying to get back to, you can think of 100 things you got to do the next day.
Yeah, right.
It's hard to shut it off. So
what is one piece of advice you'd give somebody who's maybe thinking about opening a restaurant or buying a restaurant, maybe not here in Payson, but just in general? If they got no experience, where to start?
No experience. Find somebody that does have experience for sure.
Yeah.
You got to find a leader that's going to be able to, be able to maintain and build a culture that is going to define who you are and be a reflection of who you are as a person. Hopefully, you know, you're coming from a good place.
Yeah.
But somebody that can carry on your message, and you know, no one's ever the same as you, but you want somebody that you know, acts like an owner.
Yeah.
And if you can start there, you're at a good spot, because they can pull you along as well. And then hire people that you want to work with.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time.
I've always been a believer in mentorships and finding the right people that are smarter than you and know your industry you're getting into more better than you or something. So when I ask you that question, my thought goes to like finding someone that you can mentor under, you know, shadow them and find out what is a business restaurant like, you know, and try that end of it before you go full blown into investing.
Well, yeah, I mean, for sure. I think for the main thing, everything evolves, but you have to have some core values first.
Yeah.
And you can apply those to whatever type of cuisine you're going to cook out of the kitchen and serve to your guests. What does service look like?
Yeah.
What is what is your kitchen layout going to be?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that you need some experience to really be successful at, but mentorship is huge, and knowing, leadership is knowing, when to push and when to pull. And these days it takes a whole lot more pulling than pushing.
Yeah, right.
Back in the day for me, restaurants are a little bit different. Now, there's different generations that in the workforce that see things through a different lens than we do.
Right.
And you got to be a little patient and realize that, hey, maybe it's my turn to kind of step back and look through their lens versus just being my way all the time.
Right.
You have to have some humility.
Yeah. So let's flip gears for a minute here. Let's talk more about your restaurant here. You've got this really nice dining room. I've been in twice now. I've seen a couple people see it in here. Is this more like an overflow? Is this a special events area?
No.
Where does this?
This room in particular, obviously, during the wintertime, we have so many seats between the patio and lower dining room. And obviously, things slow down quite a bit. And it depends on how things play out weather-wise. If it snows during the week, there's snow on the rim, we get a good influx of people coming through. Other than that, you rely on the people that are here and hope that they're going to support your location.
Yeah.
There's obviously several other restaurants around that need that support as much as we do. But this room here, along with the patio and the two dining rooms down below, the bar dining room and the lower dining room, this will be completely full in the summer season, what I call our busy season.
Nice.
This room in particular, we do sell a lot of events in here. So large groups that want to come in, whether it's a corporate thing, in fact, I think we had holiday parties in December almost every day of the week in here.
Nice.
And it's not always overflow, and if we're not using it for that, we use it for regular dining.
Nice.
So.
Well, it's a nice room, nice facility, and you do weddings here?
So oddly enough, I've done one wedding since we've had the restaurant, and it went well. It was a smaller one. I've got a wedding reception coming up here in May that will just be the entire patio on a Saturday for about 130 people out there. But I really try not to shut down the restaurant for other events, so it's available to the community. And we all want the business, but at the same time, we want to be able to support the community back and make sure that there's a place for them to come in.
Right.
So we're very, very selective when we choose to take some events.
Yeah. So do you do any catering?
Catering, we do a lot of.
Okay.
And big time wedding season, starting with this month in April, May, obviously June weddings. And then you get a little bit of a pause late in the summer as it gets a little bit warmer up here, but then the fall gets busy as well. We do a lot of people come out for retreats over the summertime to get out of the valley.
Cool.
And the catering is a big bulk of our business that we do.
Well, if you guys need food on the go, call Shane.
Happy to guide them.
Shane, I appreciate your time. Is there anything else you want to tell our viewers as we grow our channel here?
No, I mean, other than we're so thankful and blessed to be here, and we've had such tremendous support from the community. Gail and I came in. You always have a little bit of fear when you come into a small town, and I think people question your intentions as buying a business, and Robert was doing a good one with this one. But the amount of trust and support that we've received, we're just so thankful.
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah,
I've only been here since January, so still new.
It's a great place to be, and we couldn't be happier. And
awesome.
We're here for the long run.
So, well, guys,
long haul.
This is Shane. Shane, you're no longer a stranger.
Yes.
I'm going to do a little behind the scenes working with Shane to see if we can get some video of like different elements of the restaurant stuff just to showcase to add to the video. So that'll be following right after this. So how many people does this room seat, this area?
I think we can get up to 76 in this room. entry here. This is the original menu board. So I think the original intention for the restaurant was to be a fast casual restaurant. So people would come in and order here. They were going to give them a number, set that at the table, and then the food would be run out. And Robert quickly switched that over to a full service restaurant, which is really difficult to do for barbecue, because once you run out of meat, you can't just throw it back on right away.
Right. What a nice thing to come into right here. The nice view to get started with.
And then lower dining room, we get about 64 seats in here. It adds up so quickly. I think this is 56 seats. We do have our outdoor pizza oven right here, but this out here is over 80 seats.
Good, and yourself?
Good.
It's Tyler.
Awesome.
Thank you.
We're showing how hard you're working. Yeah, so nice little patio area, outdoor patio.
This is packed in the summertime.
Yeah.
So we got two smoker pits.
Okay.
Southern Pride and Old Hickory, which
should have got here before you pulled it off.
You gotta be here around all day.
Yeah.
4:30, 5.
we use pecan wood to smoke the meats. Cut pieces of wood. All the white oak that we have out there is for second heat or for cooking out of the pizza oven.
Yeah,
Right?
certain. So butts, briskets, and ribs. If I need that big smoker, I'll wrap the stuff and put them in there, so it opens up the availability of space in here. So I can fill this thing up with ribs, pork belly, and turkey. But I just using that for heat. So I've already got my bark, I got my color, I got my flavor from the pecan, and then just use the white oak as fuel.
Nice.
So
Nice.
It's not affecting the flavor or anything because it's all wrapped up. So it's just an extra one. And then I have a little salmon smoker here. This just runs off of we smoked at alder wood with this. So
Nice. You got a great job.
I enjoy what I do.